Welcome to Your In Depth, where we walk through and break down our favorite fictional universes. I have Evan with me, as usual, and if you are new, I saw your mouth move. Did you say something?
Hello.
Oh, okay. That's, pretty much as per usual how you respond. But anyway, if you're new with us, I am Jacob. Thanks for checking us out. I hope you enjoy it. But today we are going to cover Rings of Power, Episode 3. The name of it is Adar. I do want to throw out there real quick that this is currently minute 5.5 of our recording as we screwed around a little bit beforehand. So extended, uncensored, and early access podcast episodes are available on our Patreon. I just want to throw that out there in the case that you want to support us, because this will be published in probably 2 weeks. So you could access it early and hear what dumb stuff we said before hitting record. Or,
as well,
saying the intro.
Some of that might go into some blooper reels in the future. Every 1,000 downloads gets you a blooper reel, so some of that might pop up in there as well.
Yeah, we've discussed that every 1,000 downloads of the podcast, we're going to release a blooper reel, and then every 25 Apple Podcast reviews, we will live stream the episode, which could be disastrous, but it'll be fun.
That might just end the podcast altogether the first time we do it.
So
we don't know.
Go leave us reviews if you want to potentially kill our podcast, because it would be your fault, not ours.
And then we'll just start a new podcast called My In Depth. So,
or In Depth Your.
Who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, so
we're in your depth. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll figure it out. In your depth sounds like something to do with proctology. Anyway,
I was thinking gynecology, but
whatever. It doesn't matter. So we're covering episode 3 of Rings of Power. Like I said, it is titled Adar. Firstly, Evan, by the way, I want to point this out, okay? I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I was like, I'm really looking forward to making these ads and joking with Evan, because it's just fun to record with him. And she's like, it's kind of lame, though. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, your humor is kind of lame. All you do is call him a pedophile and gay. And I'm like, well, okay, yeah, but I think that's funny. But I don't know. Maybe she's right. Maybe that's too immature, which is never something you would say. That's right. I'm doubling down. Screw you, art lover. Let's go on.
What in the world is going on here? Anyways, the episode opens with the camera panning under what looks like some canvas as it slowly pans down on our favorite woodland elf, Arondir. He has been captured from the last episode as we see him being dragged by two, I think at the very start of this, unknown figures, but we quickly find out that these are some strange folk.
They do look like they're orcs. Yeah,
well, and even before it's like, oh, those are orcs, you get a quick shot of them, and it's like they're wearing like deer skulls as like helmets and like things of that nature. And it becomes very obvious very quickly as well that he's not the only prisoner here.
No, there's a whole workforce.
Yeah, it's like a captive. Whole like slave camp going on.
And
here.
they're digging.
These orcs have captured a lot of people, and like you said, they are digging. What they're digging exactly, some sort of tunnel, what it's for, we don't know yet. Basically
a trench. But as you pointed out in the last episode that we covered, that when they come across Hordern, there wasn't any dead bodies. There wasn't people. And so we see, I mean, it appears that they were all captured and kind of pushed into the workforce to continue this.
Yeah. And I would even imagine as well that there probably were some of those villagers that didn't make it, right?
Oh,
that were probably killed.
Likely,
but again, anybody that's seen Lord of the Rings, that lovely scene from the Two Towers.
Never forget.
Wanna eat Merry and Pippin's arms and legs because they don't need them. It's very possible that those people became food. So
true.
Yeah, it just adds to the dark and darkness and depravity of the orcs.
Yeah. But he's thrown down to the ground by the orc, or before an orc, and the orc says for Adar.
Yeah.
We then see another couple of elves from his patrol from earlier. Go ahead.
I will say, though, when I first watched this episode, when they said for Adar, I was not sure if they were referring to a person, for a place, for some sort of cause. And my mind instantly goes to, or went to, I should say, because obviously you and I know who or what Adar is now.
Sure.
But when I first heard that word, my first thought went to, is that Sauron? Is that like one of his many names?
Oh, one of his many names.
Yeah. That's where my thought initially went to when I first watched this episode.
Yeah. Like I said, another couple of elves from his patrol from earlier, though, show up. Like, we see them, and it's like, they're captured too. And then we kind of see the at this point the scale of the workforce that have been taken captive.
Well, and that first elf that we see, other than Arondir, is he's that other elven soldier that we saw on patrol in the village.
Right.
And
yeah,
then,
his like kind of friend.
The second elf we see is kind of like their captain.
Right.
You know, like their leader of the guard.
Yeah. But we cut over to Galadriel, who is awakening on a ship. If we remember last episode, her and Halbrand were on Driftwood, and they come up on a ship, and now they're on that ship. But she's in the lower levels of it, and she's searching around for her dagger. She doesn't have it. Halbrand comes out and gives her some food. She kind of questions who has them. Are they saviors or captors? But then they the door opens up from above, and she goes up to the main level and meets the crew.
Yep. And I will say, when we first get to see the crew in earnest, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this scene, the first time we actually get to see them, I didn't know who they were. Like, seeing their armor, seeing their attire and whatnot, like, I didn't recognize it anywhere. But, like, once we find out who these people are, it's like, oh, that's who they are. We've heard of them before.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Yeah, but we don't know by... Well, some might, but we didn't notice it, because I didn't initially either, but I
didn't notice initially. I didn't recognize initially who it was, but it's like... Because we do see not these people exactly, but people from the same nationality, right?
Mm-hmm.
In another piece of Lord of the Rings content, and the armor's different. You know, it doesn't match what we've seen them wear before.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's like trying to show them in an earlier time than last time we saw them, or if that was just a creative choice by the producers. I'm not 100% sure what the reasoning behind kind of changing the armor is, or changing the attire is.
Yeah.
But it definitely threw me for a loop when I first watched the show.
Yeah. But on the main level, Galadriel meets the captain, who says that his superiors will answer all of her questions. She asks where they're heading, and he says home. But she does notice that he has her dagger.
Yeah.
We then get some scenery as they approach the place. Halbrand asks where they are, and Galadriel says there's only one place that could be, it could be, just based on the scenery and the statues and all that, and that is Numenor.
Yeah, and anyone that's gotten into the lore of Middle-earth, and even like the fall of Numenor, and like I'm trying to think what the book's called. It's like the fall of Gondolin or something like that. Like, and Numenor is involved in that as well. And so, like, anybody that's gone into the deep dive lore, read all the extra books and stuff, like, the descriptions in those books, I think just the scenery that you're talking about, for those people where the orcs have a pretty dang good idea where they're going, you know, before anything's even said. But for those that, you know, don't get into the books and the deep dive lore, or like the YouTube deep lore videos and stuff, this would be new for you, because this is actually the first instance where we actually see Numenor, like, visually, you know. Like I said, there's obviously books that take place in and around Numenor, but this is the first time we actually get to see it on screen. And I personally think they did a really good job showing Numenor.
Yeah.
Because when you read the books and stuff, it talks about Numenor being this grand civilization, like these amazing craftsmen and craft masters and whatnot. And it's similar to the whole Moria thing that we talked about last episode. It's like they delivered in this instance. Like, this looks like an incredible city with incredible engineering. Like, this looks like a powerful people.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with the design they did for Numenor.
Yeah. No, it was beautiful. They did do it very well. Real quick, if you don't know what Numenor is, a very, very simple and quick breakdown is that it's a powerful island kingdom gifted to men.
Yeah.
That's the basis.
For anybody that just a tiny bit more on that as well, anybody that's a little more curious than that, the line of kings that is talked about in the original trilogy that Aragorn is a descendant from originates from Numenor.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Isildur, who we see in the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring, he is from Numenor. He was originally, like, that's where he was born and raised, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what Numenor, like, Numenor is ancient men before they established, like, Minas Tirith and Gondor. And for people that are aware of, like, Arnor, before Arnor was established as a kingdom as well. The Dunedain, which Aragorn is a member of, right? That's his race, are descendants from Numenor. Numenor fought on the side of the elves in the War of Wrath, which was that big battle that we saw flashes of in the first episode of the show. So just to try and, like, lay on a little more importance and, like, some noteworthy, like, some named figures that people would recognize from this place.
Sure. Yeah. And real quick, I need to go switch over laundry. I'm jotting down the timestamp. It'll take me like 3 minutes.
Rude.
Shush. So, be right back. I'm back.
Okay. I totally was not saying stuff and whatnot while you were gone.
I totally believe you.
I wasn't doing anything. You can't prove it.
All right. Well, the ship docks, and they start walking through the streets, talking some of Numenor's history with elves, and how they broke contact for unknown reasons. Halbrand warns Galadriel not to antagonize the people. Basically, hey, keep it together, please.
Quit being your usual snobby elf self, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I will say, in contrast to the Galadriel we see in Lord of the Rings, this Galadriel, like, young Galadriel, just, she's very snobby towards people.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, unless they're elves,
right? She's
just, like, really snobby towards them. Like she has to give them attitude, and she has this whole, like, I don't know, like, mightier than thou type of approach to them, and yeah,
right.
I don't know. It's just like,
yeah, she does, and I
guess maybe like the arrogance of youth type of thing. Maybe
that might be what they're going for. I don't really care for it personally,
right?
But
because it's very like it's a drastic difference from like
right.
like Fellowship of the Ring, Galadriel.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I can see it to where it's like, okay, in her youth she was like this. She's mellowed out and learned from these attitudes and these experiences, and now she is the way we find her. I still don't really care for it. But Galadriel and Halbrand approach a large gathering kind of room where those higher ups mentioned earlier are. Halbrand tells Galadriel to kneel before the queen. And they start to before the queen tells them not to kneel. And Halbrand kind of whispers, he's like, sorry. Kind of like, oops. He was wrong. And
with that as well, though, an important thing to note is yes, she's like, quote unquote, the queen, but she's queen regent, right?
I don't know what that means.
So the queen regent would be someone that is in charge because the current king is incapable of being in charge.
Okay.
So it's like if you have the king of let's say England, right? Like medieval England, and he is horribly sick. They don't have a son to kind of like that's of age to take charge. Horribly sick, horribly ill. The queen would then step in and take command of like the day-to-day activity and things like that in his place. Gotcha. Until he can like either get better or their son comes of age or what have you. So
that makes sense.
She is queen, but specifically queen regent. She is not. She is the like ultimate authority, but there is still a king somewhere that is like higher up than her. He's just incapacitated for whatever reason or unable to perform his duties for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, this lady, I'm just going to keep calling her the queen, but
that's fine.
There is that clarifier.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that distinction right here as we're introduced to her. And then we can call her queen just going forward is fine. But
sure.
I just wanted to make sure that was in there.
Okay. But the queen tells them to speak and introduce themselves. Galadriel says her name, where she's from, who her king is, basically her loyalties and everything. And then Halbrand just says, nope, Halbrand from the Southlands. Yeah. That's it. And so Galadriel asks for passage to Middle-earth, and they basically reply with, that's a mighty request coming from an elf. And she says, well, it is because of the elves that you even have Numenor. And there's the whole thing that Halbrand was like, why can't you keep it together?
Yeah, and it like we just kind of mentioned a little earlier, it's one of those, like, are you done being so arrogant? Are you done being a little, for lack of a better term? Like,
yeah. She's not being nice.
Like honestly, I understand that, like, the elves are these mighty people and they've done these great things, but, like, these are the people that helped you in the war. Yeah. If you acted like this towards, let's say, the Southlanders, who didn't help you in the war, who helped the other side, that's one thing.
That'd be different. But
like, these are the people who helped you in the war. And this was your reward to them, but it's like you don't get to hang that over their head every single chance you get for, hundreds or thousands of years after the event occurred.
Yeah. But she says that there's a commotion because most of them are probably like, what did she just say? Who's gonna kick her? And the queen responds saying that they were not gifted anything. They paid for the island with the blood of their kin. The queen then is about to haul them off because, Galadriel can't keep her mouth shut.
For real.
Halbrand steps in and says maybe it'd be best for them to stay a few days to give their council or her council time to discuss the request of their departure. Like, okay, things are heated right now. Thanks, Galadriel. But like, maybe let's just take a step back. Let's process it and then come back to it.
Well, and the thing too is, like, Halbrand is 100% in the right here.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is literally Galadriel's arrogance that has them almost thrown in a cell.
Yeah.
Like, that's all Galadriel has to do is, like, take a single bite. Just doesn't even have to eat the whole humble pie, just a single bite of it. And things would go so much more smoothly here.
Exactly. Set aside your pride and your weird, like, bitterness and just shut up for a little bit.
Like your pride and your arrogance is like way up here. Bring it down a single notch. Just one. So this would go so much more smoothly.
Yeah. So they agree to letting them stay for 3 days and then they'll reconvene or whatever.
Yeah.
And part of that though is that Galadriel has to stay in the castle. She can't just be roaming about. She needs to stay put. Halbrand approaches the captain that had rescued them and basically expresses his gratitude, bro-hugging him. And in the meantime, he pickpocketed Galadriel's dagger back.
Yeah. Well, and this raised questions for me, this whole scene here. Like, number one, Galadriel's attitude towards the Númenóreans. Mm-hmm. And then number two, the Númenóreans' reaction, like, they're part of their attitude to Galadriel. Like, part of it is obviously, like, you need to get off your high horse. But part of it is just straight up, like, animosity towards her.
Yeah, part of it
for
is
simply being an elf, not for her attitude. And
yeah.
I don't.
No, part of it is racism.
I don't remember what.
I mean, really, the race of elves. I mean, it is.
Yeah, it is. And I don't remember if there is a reason in previously established lore for this breaking of ties between the elves and the Númenóreans, or even if that is in the previously established lore.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, I don't remember what that reason is, and if it's not, I am curious as to why it occurred and why they put it like that way in the show.
Yeah.
Because at least to my knowledge, in previously established lore, Galadriel didn't visit Númenor. But I could be wrong on that. If anybody listening knows the answer, please let us know.
Yeah, Spotify has comments, so if you're on there.
Yeah, please let us know if you have the answer. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But with that as well, there is a general trivia information here for this particular scene. That says the ancestors of the Númenóreans were called the Edain, the men and women who first went west in Middle Earth. They were the allies of the elves in the First Age in the First Age war against Morgoth. So the Númenóreans were not originally Númenóreans. They were originally known as the Edain. And then after the war being granted the island of Númenor, that's when they took on the name Númenóreans. But again, that right there just reinforces and just confirms that these people helped the elves in the war. Yeah. Why is she being so mean to them?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a little general trivia thing that Amazon Prime gives to this scene. So.
I like that it does that. Halbrand gives Galadriel back her dagger and just says, like, hey, don't make any new enemies. Please keep it together.
Yeah.
Then we see the queen and kind of, it seems like maybe an advisor of some kind. I'm not sure his position, but they're talking about the captain from earlier. His name is Elendil.
Yep. And anybody that has seen Lord of the Rings and looked into it just a little bit might recognize that name.
And if you don't, coming up, there's another name that you will.
Yeah.
And you can see the connection. But keep going if you had more to say.
I will say, without revealing that other name, we do see a quick scene of Elendil in the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
And once the other character is introduced, I'll elaborate on that.
Okay. And that's right around the corner. So they're talking about him.
Well, just because we got this guy here. This guy that's talking to the queen, right? That you said kind of seemed like some sort of advisor. We don't have his name yet, so I'm not going to elaborate on him too much.
Okay.
But he is, before this show even came out, he is a very important figure in the lore of Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Or maybe not in the lore of like the grand story, but at least in Númenor and what unfolds in Númenor and all that kind of stuff. He is an important figure to what happens here.
Okay. Back to the episode, though, and seeing them talk. They are talking about Elendil's son, who is planning on following his father into service. We then cut to that son. He's working on a ship. They're kind of, sailing about, and he's staring off into the distance at some mountains. Which are they close enough to Middle Earth to have that be that? Because he kind of like is looking like, I want to go there, and like I know that is that what that? I couldn't tell where they were because later on it zooms out and it's a big map, and it's like, dang, they would have been really far away. So I don't know.
They could be. That could be like that if that is Middle Earth, because if you look at a map of the world itself at this time period, Númenor is southwest of Middle Earth. So if that is Middle Earth, that my best guess would be like
southwest or northwest.
Southwest.
Is it?
Yeah, because like northwest and whatnot would take you up into like the snowlands, and for anybody that's familiar with Gundabad and all that, like where it was like an orc stronghold and whatnot, and so that would be way up north, orcs and trolls and ogres and things like that.
Gotcha.
But if that is Middle Earth, that would be like. My best guess would be the southwest coast, kind of close to Linden, where Gilgalad is, or to the Grey Havens, which is where in Return of the King we see Galadriel and Elrond and Celebrimbor leave Middle Earth with Gandalf and Frodo and Bilbo. Is the Grey Havens. That would be my best guess. I don't know why they would be any further west than that, but I also do find it strange that they would be that close to Middle Earth anyways. Well, because Numenor is far from Middle Earth. I would wager
what I was saying,
month or so travel at least.
Yeah, and so I don't think it is, but I was just trying to figure out what that region was, but it's probably not. Either way, he's just looking off. He's distracted. And
I don't think that's Middle Earth. I'm assuming that's Numenor.
Probably.
But, I mean, they are out at sea, so I guess there is a chance that it could be Middle Earth.
Thinking about a later conversation, I don't know. It might be. It doesn't matter, really, because it's just he's gazing at it and he's distracted.
He's not doing his duties, and they're not in the roughest seas, but,
yeah, but
they're
it's
not
still
calm.
And, now, here we learn who he is, because as he's looking out and seeing the land and he's distracted, somebody calls to get his attention, and they call him Isildur.
Yep.
So, whoa! Anyway, what was the other thing you were going to say?
That is a young Isildur.
About that whole thing?
And so, with him being introduced, we also have met Elendil,
right?
Who, when watching Fellowship of the Ring, when they show the Battle of the Last Alliance, Elendil, obviously, as we know, is Isildur's father, and so the figure that runs up to challenge Sauron, and he gets smacked into the wall and killed, right? Oh. And then Isildur grabs his sword.
Yeah.
So Galadriel, who narrates that scene, says Isildur took up his father's sword.
Ah.
That figure is Elendil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so something that you will, as we watch the show and as it goes on, some of these figures, we already know their fate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we already know that Elendil dies at the Battle of the Last Alliance.
Yeah.
We already know that Isildur dies. He gets shot in the back by arrows from orcs in an ambush. Right. Anybody that gets into some lore and stuff of Moria and whatnot, we know the fate of Durin.
Yeah.
We know how, and I won't get into that now, but we know how Durin dies. We know what his ultimate fate is. And obviously with Moria itself, we know what happens to Moria. It falls.
Right.
So something to keep in mind while watching the show is some of these big name figures, Gil-galad is another one. We know his fate. We know how he dies. So just something to keep in mind with this, because yes, we know their end fate, but this is kind of how they got there. Yeah. But with that, as well, as we're kind of stepping away from your notes, we do have another general trivia as this right here. It says the Númenóreans are mariners of great renown and lords of many ships on their islands, which is also called Elena. But they are forbidden from sailing west out of sight of their own shores by the ban of the Valar to prevent them from seeking the undying lands themselves.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of answers our question. That's just Númenor. That's not Middle Earth.
Good.
Or no, that could be Middle Earth because they would sail east to get to Middle Earth. That could be Middle Earth.
Oh, yeah, it was saying west.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah. Well, anyway,
so that could be Middle Earth.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Yeah. But back to the episode and back to the ship. Obviously, they're a crew of sailors, and they're out and they're doing their thing, and that is the perfect spot for our first sponsor break. So, let's hear from them. This episode of You're in Depth is brought to you by the Númenor Navigators, a folk group specializing in sea shanties. They are looking for new men, or women, see what I did there, to join their group. So if this is your passion, be sure to give them a call. The Númenor Navigators are known for their most popular song, Pedo Man. I know you've heard it, but here's a refresher. There once was a creep that looked at me. His name was Evan, and you might agree the things he loves are art and, of course, children having fun. Soon may the Peanut Man come to sit at parks and stare at bums. One day when he's had enough, he'll take our kids and go. So call the Numenor Navigators today to our...
What the fuck? Oh my... What in the world is this? What is going on here? This just took all your jokes to a whole new level, Jacob.
What? What is wrong?
Really? A sea shanty? Really? Oh my goodness. I think you just upped your game. Now you have to keep it at that level of...
Yeah, I kind of... Dude, I feel like I really stepped it up when we started this again,
man.
because remember the Galadriel's Arts and Crafts?
Yeah.
That was probably the most high effort until now.
Oh, man.
It was... Yeah, so... Anyway.
She goes, what is wrong with your friendship?
Also, I sent this... So, okay, I showed this to Seth. He thought it was very funny. I also showed it to Charlie, and he was laughing as well. And then Emily was there, and she's like, why are you calling him a pedophile? And I said, I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea where this started. Do you have any insight? Because I don't.
I don't know when this started, when this joke started, but it's been a long time.
Realistically, I should probably dial back, but I did say I'd double down. So I think, honestly, where it started was when I was working in the school. We kept making jokes like, well, you didn't say I couldn't be in the schools, like that stuff.
Yeah.
Like we were kind of joking about that. And I think that when you said you got a new place, I was like, oh, is it the proper distance? And like stuff like that, I think just kind of eventually culminated into just making weird jokes. And I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it, but it's fun.
Oh, man.
So anyway, I have made a sea shanty for you. And that's...
Thanks. I expect at least 3 more verses.
Dude. So I'm going to include that part as we talk about this a little bit. I want to let you guys know that I will make that if you share this and we get the 25 Apple Podcast reviews. Or, what's a good incentive? Because we got a couple things ticked off. What would be another one? What would be a good thing to be like, hey, if you guys accomplish this, I will create the full song?
How many likes are we at right now on either Apple or Spotify? Let's see.
I don't know if it works quite like that, but
Or
I
is
will
there
look.
not like... Oh, yeah, I'm not seeing like a like thing on...
Yeah. Oh, here. You know what? So we've talked about Apple Podcast reviews. We have talked about downloads. We are currently at 427 Spotify followers, which is weird to me. But if we get that up to 500, I'll release it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Anyway, coming back, I guess. Now that'll all be in it. We'll be fine.
Oh, goodness.
So thank you to the Numenor Navigators for paying us a little bit of money to try to get them some new members. That is well appreciated.
Yeah.
So, we're back on shore. Isildur's friends tell him that they're surprised he isn't like being kicked out because he wasn't doing very good that day. As we said, he was distracted. He was neglecting what he should have been doing. Isildur's sister comes in and gets him, and they talk a little bit, and then it cuts over to Elendil, who is talking to the fake queen. The defaulted, I don't know, the queen,
Yeah.
We learn that his name translates to one who loves the stars, or even elf friend. And she asks him if he is one. he says that he's loyal to Numenor. She questions why he committed treason by bringing the elf here then. And he's just kind of like, I only did what I felt right, basically. And she then says he needs to perform a service, but a guard gives him a sword. So I didn't fully understand what they were getting at here, but we see what he's doing later on. So I think I get
right.
it.
But I think because if you look at this sword, it looks quite eloquent. It looks like very well designed and whatnot. I wonder if it's like maybe not a promotion, but maybe some sort of token. I don't know exactly what I would call it.
It doesn't really seem like a promotion based on how she's talking about it. It almost seems like service, like as a
the way she's talking makes it sound like punishment. Not good. But the sword itself looks very well, like it looks like a fancy sword. Like it looks like it looks like some sort of important blade or something, which it kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really get it either. But we span over to go over to the Southlands, and we see Arondir being worked, back to the work camps of the orcs. And we do see that the orcs are bothered by the sun, which is why all these tents are kind of there and all along the path and all that.
Well, and the orcs as well are like covered in cloth, like and whatnot as well. And we even see one of them like pull some of it up over his head to protect him from the sun as it peeks out from the clouds.
Right.
And it's another general trivia thing popped up as well. Wow, this is coming pretty quick.
Cool.
It says it is a mark of evil things that came in the great darkness that they cannot abide the sun. Some orcs can endure its light better than others, but they all hate it, and only seldom will they journey in the open while the sun shines. So a mark of evil things that came from the great darkness. Again, just, compounding the evil upon evil upon evil of the orcs, essentially.
Yeah. Like I said, they're tunneling, and that's kind of the reasoning behind the tents above it and stuff. The other elves talk about how Morgoth seemed to have a successor named Adar, which is an elvish name. They say that Sauron was said to have many names, so it could be him. This could be one of them. That could be the person. They say that they need to get a glimpse of what's above these trenches, though, so they can figure out how to get out of there.
Well, and the captain as well in this scene even says that the orcs almost have this, like, not only do they follow this Adar, but they almost revere him. He almost makes it seem like almost to godhood type of like revering him.
Yeah.
But we do also hear that
adopts them.
Arondir, and I just noticed this, he makes a comment that why would the orcs give him an elvish name? Which is just something I thought was curious. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, an orc stops them and basically tells them get back to work, to which they say that there's roots blocking their progress. The senior elf steps up, the commander guy, saying, it'd be quicker to just dig around these and we can progress further. An orc comes up to him saying, you know what? The elves show strength, and you can have some water as a reward. As one of the younger ones, the guys, the Arondir's kind of partner guy in patrol, drinks the water. Yeah, what was it?
Actually, I was trying to find it here. The character's name is Medhor. Medor? M-E-D-H-O-R.
Whatever it is. Mador. I don't know. Whatever it is, he's drinking the water, and the orc cuts his throat. And obviously, that kills him. But one orc is kind of startled when he does this, but then they all laugh as he bleeds out. Arondir says that he will cut the tree down, which, by the way, is a big thing for an elf. He goes up there to do it, and he does. There's a little bit of a hidden motive there because he gets up there and he's got his axe and he says sorry basically to the tree before starting. He looks and he can see what's around them outside of the trenches. Yeah,
and him cutting this tree down actually goes right into this next general trivia, which kind of gets into that a little bit.
Okay.
It says, Sylvan elves hold a great love for trees, delighting in their wood and life within them, often watching them grow from acorn to ruinous old age. Given enough time, they say they might even hear the voices of the trees and understand their thoughts. And so, again, I mean, that I guess kind of sums it up perfectly, just the type
So
of...
he truly views it as,
Yeah.
I'm about to take this thing to life.
Yeah.
And he's apologizing, and so, yeah.
Yep.
But we zoom out a little bit as he's cutting, and we see the many miles of just how they've tunneled.
Yeah. Tunnel or trench, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's more of a trench at this point.
And because it is a trench, but they also have like the cloth going over, which kind of turns it somewhat tunnel. But yeah,
I guess I'm still calling it tunneling because it started off as tunnels when they found it, and then now it's like, it's a trench.
Yeah.
But we cut back to Numenor. We see that Galadriel has escaped and is trying to find a boat. As she's scoping it out, I know she needs to just sit down.
Just
stop.
Bro, you are literally like thousands of years old. Okay. You have thousands upon thousands of years left to live. Just wait 3 days. Oh my God.
Yeah, really. Gosh. But anyway,
Like,
so
come
she's scoping out the boats so she can figure out a way to escape. And Elendil is right behind her. And we don't see him, but he just says, he's like, it'd be wiser to steal one of the half sails. And she just kind of looks and is like, upset that he's there. But he says, well, she's kind of upset, but she's also like, I'm getting out of here one way or another, whatever. But he says that the queen has given him the task of keeping a watch on her, or keeping an eye on her. She asks why he thinks he knows who he's talking to. Like, who do you...
Right.
Basically, you don't know me. Kind of stupid stuff.
It's like...
Now...
She is so caught up in her own self-importance.
Yeah.
It is what this is, in all reality. Like, she has such a chip on her shoulder. Mm-hmm. To me, this just screams, your ant's beneath my boot, leave me alone.
Pretty much.
Is essentially what it like is. That's the mentality I'm getting from her.
Yeah.
That's what she's like throwing off is like, I am so great, you are so little. Who are you to talk to me in such a way? You should just do what I tell you. Yeah.
But she says that. She's like, you don't know me. And he basically says, I have a daughter who runs fast and a son who runs blind. And your eyes look like theirs. Basically being like, no, I know the type.
Yep.
And she basically says, mind your own business. He speaks Elvish, though, and obviously this kind of catches her eye, or, gets her attention. She responds, basically, I think asking, how do you know that language? Because she replies in that language. He says that there is a place that still speaks it. It's their law hall, or this place.
Their hall of lore.
Of what?
Of lore?
Lore? I thought he said law.
No, lore.
I need to put... So, usually I have...
the only reason I know that is because it had it right there in the subtitles.
See, usually I have the subtitles, but I couldn't log into Amazon Prime, so I had to grab another method of grabbing it, or watching it, which did not have subtitles. But either way, okay, so their Hall of Lore makes sense. And he says it. He says that it's a quarter day's ride away, and she says, "Ride." And they ride horses to that place, and she looks like she's really enjoying herself. Yeah. Which honestly, this is kind of an out of place scene to me, but it's whatever.
The one thing that caught my eye in this scene is she's riding, because she's like riding along the beach, and she's got like this big smile on her face and whatnot. Her eyes make her look crazy as hell. Like she looks crazy. Like from a distance, it's like, oh, she's so happy and joyful. She's having a good time. And then it like zooms in, and it's like, chick looks like she's about to freaking kill somebody. I don't know. She looks... No. This is what that smile reminds me of.
Okay.
That smile reminds me of that orc in the Two Towers that wants to eat the arms and legs of Merry and Pippin. That's what that reminds me of. She looks like she wants to eat some hobbit limbs. That's what she looks like. She looks like she wants to eat some hobbit limbs. She's taking the hobbits to Isengard.
She's taking him to the kitchen is what she's doing. Yeah. So
Legolas, what are your elf I see? She's taking the hobbits to Isengard. Who? Galadriel.
what?
What?
But they ride the horses.
I can't believe that's just ingrained in my mind now. She looks like that freaking like blue tinged orc that wants to eat Merry and Pippin.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get that out of my head.
Well, we cut back to Halbrand, and he's in the city asking to help forge steel, and they say that he can't without a guild crest. So he sits and eats, and another person comes up basically asking who he is and what his business is.
I took the guild crest thing as like, you dumb, go to college.
Kinda, yeah. Basically, like, you need experience, you need qualifications, get out.
That just reminds me of like, hey, I'm going to apply for this job. Oh, well, we don't want you. Well, why not? You don't have a college degree.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
That's kind of what that reminds me of.
What it is, but they're being the way that they are, kind of antagonistic or argumentative, and the man that was talking to him comes over, and they're continuing to do that, and they're talking smack, kind of, it's really tense. But then Halbrand says, go ahead.
Well, and they recognize him as a Southlander as well. You know, like.
And so this could be some of that, like,
right.
difference in allegiance, in the past.
Right. But like the way he talks and the way he acts and things like that, like they recognize him as a Southlander. It's like, it's similar to how like someone from England would recognize someone from being from America based off of an accent or the way our mannerisms, things like that, or like someone from Japan would recognize that this person's from China, or this person's from whatever country.
Right, yeah. He recognizes him as,
like, obviously, they're both still human, but they recognize the nationality. They know what his people did in the past, so...
So Halbrand says, it's kind of tense, and he goes, you know what? No, I am a guest on your island, and I've been ungrateful. So drinks are on me, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And super quick, hold on. So he says, drinks are on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, there is a general trivia here, and before I read that, I just want to comment on this little thing right here. In Amazon Prime, it has a little, like, characters in the scene, who they are, right? Just gives, like, the actor's name and the character they're portraying. And so it says Charlie Vickers as Halbrand. But then that first guy that approached him and started this whole kind of, like, animosity towards him, right, is played by Jason Hood, and that character's name is actually Tamar. They gave him a name. But the other two that they show here, they give the name Wyndham Hammond is the actor, and he just portrays worker. And then Mana Hyra Davis, who also portrays worker. I just thought that was funny. Yeah. I just thought it was kind of funny that they included that.
Yeah.
And actually, this is something that's kind of interesting as well. Both of those two actors who portray workers, they were both in the Battle of Five Armies, The Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies. Oh. Yeah. So it actually gives a couple movies that said actors were in, and both of those, I don't know where they were in those two movies. I'm assuming it was something with Lake Town, but they were in the Battle of Five Armies.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
That's kind of interesting.
He says drinks are on me. They all start drinking and laughing, having a good time. As he's kind of chumming up with them and stuff, he just yoinks a guild crest off of the guy.
And the guy he yoinks it off of, which is Tamar, the guy that started this, he was in the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers.
Interesting. Never forget.
Yeah.
Huh.
Stop it. Yeah, he was in The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Fellowship of the Ring.
Huh.
Didn't know that. But that general trivia for this scene, it says, and this is kind of weird they included this general trivia in this scene, because it doesn't really fit with the scene, I guess. But it says, in contrast to the, quote, lesser men, or, quote, low men,
Oh, that's my favorite Chinese noodle.
remained in Middle Earth, the Numenorians were gifted a lifespan of far greater than their cousins who were left behind, up to 3 times a normal human's lifetime in earlier days. Which I guess is just kind of like I guess you could just kind of tie that to how, like, if you watch the extended edition of The Two Towers, when Eowyn's like, you can't be 60 or no way you're 70, and he's like, I'm 86. Well, it's because his ancestors are Numenorians and they have a longer lifespan. I guess that's kind of maybe a tie there, and maybe that's kind of one of the reasons they included that general trivia there. But
yeah, he pickpockets that off of him, and by that I mean he just rips it off of his chest. But either way, he walks off, and they end up coming back. They follow him. They know what he did, and they just start like knocking him around a little bit. They punch him. He gets up and he just beats the heck out of all 3 of them. He breaks one's arm, but in the end he gets caught by guards and hauled off.
Yeah.
We then go over to Elendil and Galadriel in this place of lore, Hall of Lore, and there's some scrolls. She knows who created the place, Elros, but she said she was always closer to his brother. And then we see a painting, Elrond.
Yep.
And
if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this. So again, if anyone listening knows, please correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Elros made the similar choice to Arwen, where he chose to live a mortal life.
Oh.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Aragorn actually can trace his descendants to Elros. And so in a weird way, Aragorn and Arwen are related. It's like long distant cousins, but they're related. Because and obviously that would make Aragorn related to Elrond as well.
Yeah.
And I think in some weird way, Galadriel, I think they're related. It's like this weird, like if you look at the like family tree, it's like just a bunch of different like branching off, but it's like this very, very distant, very, very minute relation between them. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Elros is an ancestor to Aragorn.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. So we learned
look at that right there. General trivia: Elros, the first king of Numenor, who ruled under the name Tar-Minyatur. I don't know. I hope I pronounced that somewhat right, but was a half-elf like his brother Elrond. But when given a choice by the Valar, he chose mortality and a human life. Look at that.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm so smart. Look at me go. Anyways.
She thanks him for bringing her there, and they talk of a previous king who is the only reason the hall isn't torn down. He's still loyal to the elves, but was removed from kingship because of it. Upon looking into some scrolls, Galadriel realizes that the sigil she saw of Sauron's mark
I do want to clarify as well.
Yeah.
With the old king that you mentioned there. Galadriel makes a comment of like he was loyal, and Elendil corrects her in saying he is loyal.
Oh yeah.
Just to clarify as well, the old king is still alive.
Yeah.
But he is no longer the king, I guess, which is why the Queen Regent is the Queen Regent.
Yeah. But yeah, she learns that it's not a sigil. It's an image of the Southlands and kind of a mountain range there. There's also some black speech around it, which she reads and summarizes that it's a plan to create a realm of their own for the evil ones, where they won't endure, but rather thrive. And it's enacted through... It's to be enacted if Morgoth is defeated, and it's to be enacted by his successor.
And it does show...
She now knows where to find evil.
Yeah. And it does show the Southlands as well. It shows the quick little glimpse of that map. And anybody that's looked at a map of Middle-earth would recognize that location as being Mordor by the time you get to Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And so that
So
just like
as we
begs
kinda-
the question of like, how did the Southlands turn into Mordor? Because when we
Right.
see the Southlands now, they're all green and full of life, and people live there and whatnot.
Yep. But what she had just said, I mean, it kind of shows that there is a plan to make that
Right.
Mordor, which we can draw that conclusion there. But then we cut over to the Harfoots, who I'll be honest, I don't know what they're doing. What?
We haven't seen them yet.
No, we haven't. But I don't know what they're
At least
doing.
this episode. But
They're just kind of chanting around. I think they're preparing to migrate. They're chanting, saying nobody goes off trail and nobody walks alone. You know, and they're just kind of doing their thing.
I wonder if this is kind of like some sort of like pre-departure festival thing.
It kind of seems like it is, yeah.
But
But
like some
this
sort of
is,
celebration, maybe the start of their next journey.
Yeah, but this is a good spot for another sponsor break.
Oh, and before you play that, we do have a general trivia that I'll do after the sponsor.
Okay.
Yep. I don't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
Nope. Missed it. I heard a train
I wonder
in the
if when I
background.
was getting it to play for her, if I kind of messed something up.
Oh.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it
Well,
was.
while you fix that, I'll go ahead and read the
because
general
this
trivia.
toggles it. Well, hold on. I guess if it
actually,
fits.
because the general trivia actually actually answers our question of what they're doing.
Okay.
It says the halflings delight in parties, and the harvest festival is a traditional means to help the Harfoots prepare for the arduous migration that lies ahead.
Huh.
So yeah, it's a harvest festival to get ready for their long journey that they're about to go on.
Here's our sponsor. This episode is also brought to you by the Harfoot Happy Hikers. This is a guided hiking group that travels all around Middle-earth, and they are seeking new members. You do need to bring a partner, though, because as they constantly chant, nobody walks alone. No one. Also, stay on path or you'll be left behind.
Nobody goes up there.
Anyway, check them out.
I like the background.
So anyway, there's our other
yeah.
sponsor.
But yeah, so with that general trivia, this is a harvest festival that they're doing to prepare for their next journey, wherever they're setting off to next. And I do wonder, though, how far the Harfoots do travel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it says their migration, which makes me think of like birds or something like that. Like they migrate to this area, but then they come back.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's just like two different points that they travel between, or if there's multiple, and as well, like where are those 2 points at? Like if you were to look at a map, like what's their, I guess, like area of operations more like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious where all they travel to. If it's just kind of like the Shire area, or if it gets over closer towards like the Misty Mountains, or I doubt it goes beyond the Misty Mountains. I'd be very surprised if that was the case. But I do wonder.
Yeah. Well, Nori's parents talk about the kind of situation they're in because of the broken foot. Her father then talks to her mother about how they met. We cut over to Nori, who is talking about the giant with Pop. What's her name?
Poppy?
Okay, I was right. It didn't sound right for some reason. But anyway, and she's just trying to figure out what to do with him. Nori then checks the star charts that their kind of mayor was going over.
Yeah.
And he comes in. She's hiding under the table, but she still grabs the one that she's after. And on
Isn't
it, I
that the
believe, was
scene-
the constellation that he drew with the fireflies. So
Isn't that the scene
the
where she's like
significance.
hiding under, and
Yeah.
Poppy comes up to like the mayor and is like trying to give Nori directions while
Yes.
talking? That one cracked
Yeah.
me up.
Yeah. But the mayor gives a speech in the to all the people, all the Harfoots, about previous migrations as well as the journey ahead. Part
And
of
they kinda
it,
do
he
like
lists.
I was thinking you were about to say.
Yeah, kind of an in
memoriam.
memoriam sort of thing where it's like, here's all that we lost before. And he's saying how they died. And one of them, he says the name and he just goes, bees.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But we also find out in this scene as well that Poppy's parents died on one of their migrations.
Oh, yeah, I didn't pick up on that, actually.
I want to see if it says how they died real quick.
Bees.
That'd be messed up.
It would be messed up.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, that's fine.
Find it real quick is all. Stuck in the snow in a mountain pass was one person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to list off the different ones he says.
That's fine. That's kind of... I was curious.
Chance Proudfellow. And Yarrow Proudfellow, which I think is Poppy's parents. Yeah. As well as Strap and Dewis.
Huh.
Which I'm assuming are siblings. And Lindsay
Probably.
Proudfellow. So essentially
say
her
how
whole
they
family. Taken by landslide one rainy winter day.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, anyway,
from my understanding, like that's her parents and probably siblings as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, the sheet that that Nori had grabbed is now in the hands of the stranger.
Real quick, I think this might be the B
them.
one. Daffodil Burrow. He's still going. Oh, wolves. That's not the better.
I think it was the one after that.
Let's see what else they got. Because it shows, during this, it shows the stranger kind of milling about their kind of encampment as well.
Yeah.
Well, the one person ate some sort of yellow flower, I think, and probably died from poison.
Yeah.
During all this, though, it does show the stranger. He's got one of the star charts that matches with the symbol he's been searching, the stars he's been looking for.
Right. So he recognizes it.
Yeah.
And as he's trying to see it further, it catches fire, and he starts trying to put it out, but falls and creates a commotion, drawing attention to him, because the rest of the Harfoots don't know that he exists right now. And, yeah, everybody's attention is caught. He emerges and scares them all as he's tangled in a blanket, but as he regains his composure a bit, he calls out to Nori. And everybody looks to her like, what? Right
before the stranger goes all crazy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Their mayor guy is saying one, and he says, Ma Hambley was making a sculpture, and then it cuts off because they realize something's going on. And it doesn't say what she was making. Like, what sculpture was... Did she get crushed or something? Like, geez. But then it goes to... that piece of paper lighting on fire that the stranger was looking at, and he's trying to put it out. And,
yeah.
And
but then it goes to the rest of the group who's like scolding Nori, saying she broke the rules, and that means like that she should be excommunicated basically, but they're not going to.
It's like, is it just her or like her whole family?
It sounds like her whole family is going to be punished, but I don't know about the whole like kicked out part.
Right. But, well, were you saying it kind of sounds like they're going to be like excommunicated? I was just wondering if that's like just her being excommunicated or her whole family, but they do decide to go a different route. Her family can still go on the migration, but they're at the back. They have to be
in back.
Yeah,
which for them with the broken foot means not good.
Which means, they're going to fall behind. They're not going to be able to keep up and, keep the whole safety in numbers thing. Right.
We cut over to Numenor where Elendil talks to his kids, kind of updating them about what's going on. I didn't really see much going on here. Isildur kind of wants to take a break from pursuing being a sailor.
Yeah.
Over to Galadriel, who is visiting Halbrand in prison. She shows him a document she found, and it's his crest that he had. And she says that he's the returning king to the Southlands. Like, that's what that means. You were royalty there, man. And she wants to partner up with him. We then go over to the queen.
Which I find odd. She wants to partner up with the would-be king of the Southlands. The people who fought against her and her people. People that were partly responsible for her brother dying.
Yeah.
Right?
I think...
But she's going to be you're going to bleep this, just so you know. She's going to be a quack to the Numenorians.
God, I might even have to bleep that. Bleep that for the Patreon.
That's the nicest term I can come up with.
No, I get what you're saying.
She's being this jerk to the Numenorians, but she wants to team up with the guy whose ancestors fought against her own and were the part of the reason her brother died, and she holds animosity towards already. just because he's royalty, but the queen here of the Númenóreans.
I think that it's partially too that he has been helpful to her. Like he got her dagger back. He's trying, like there's more experience with him, I guess, but still,
I guess. But like the way she's treated him all the way up until this point, has been the same way she's treated the Númenóreans. And it's just. I think she has like split personality disorder or mood swings or something. Something's going on here.
Yeah. We see the queen in the tower. She's talking to somebody saying that the elf arrived. We then cut back to the Harfoots who are migrating, carrying their carts and stuff. Before we go to the Harfoots. Yeah.
I don't know what statue this general trivia is referring to. So it says the Númenóreans' love of the sea extends to all elements of their culture. The statue in the center of this chamber is a personification of the sea itself, as this was not originally a dungeon, but rather reappropriated as one sometime in the past. Okay, so there's a statue in the dungeon there that it's referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to the Harfoots.
Yeah.
They are migrating and carrying carts. Nori's family is obviously struggling because of their broken foot. They're kind of struggling to pull the cart.
Well, and Poppy herself as well is pulling her cart. And she's she's right there in the back with them. And she even, at this exact moment that you're talking about, she stops to go and help them out as the rest of the Harfoots continue. And we do have just a quick little general trivia as well. There's a lot of them in this episode, actually.
Yeah,
they're popping up pretty quick. It says everything the Harfoots own, they make or find and then carry with them inside their carts, their most valuable possessions, which I think we all could have assumed with how much they're not willing to just leave the cart behind.
Right.
But yeah, the Harfoots are struggling and Poppy stops to try and help them out. But of course, if she does that, that means she's going to get left behind too. You know, so it's definitely a risk for her as well, but Nori is her best friend.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, their cart starts moving again and gets unstuck. And come to find out, a certain someone is following them.
Yeah. It's the stranger, the giant. And he says, he's talking to them, and he says friend, because Nori is his friend.
Yeah.
And he then helps them move the cart. Also in here, I didn't realize Nori has a sister.
Nori has a sister? Let me see this. Hold on a second. What?
Moving with their family cart, there's a little kid.
Oh, yeah, there is. Look at that. Wow.
Never really drawn attention to it, but she's in this.
Never noticed that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I also think it's kind of, I guess not interesting, but I like that they did this with the stranger, where he's slowly picking up on some words. Like we hear him say Nori at different points now, and now he's saying friend. It's like, it reminds me of that whole person of importance lost their memory. They have to relearn who they are type of thing.
And they're slowly piecing it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. They now proceed to migrate as they can actually move with his help.
Sorry, and then the little kid that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Right here. It just cracked me up. So Nori says he helps us and we help him.
Yeah.
And the little kid goes, "Can we, Mom? Can we bring him?" And it just reminds me, Mom, can we keep the dog, please? Can we keep it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's funny. Yeah.
I don't remember that line from watching this before, and I've watched this show a couple different times now.
Yeah.
I don't remember that line being in it.
Yeah. We cut back to Arondir, though, and the orcs. The elves and the people, they revolt. They start attacking orcs.
Yeah.
They break their chains. One of the elves succeeds and runs for it.
Which is the elven captain.
No.
Yeah.
No. Initially, there's another guy that runs.
Is there another one that I missed?
So when they're hacking at their chains and one breaks, I don't know if it's an elf, but one of the guys starts running.
Okay, gotcha.
And an orc whips an axe at him.
That's right, yeah.
So him.
Yep.
But then Arondir breaks down the tents and burns some orcs before they shout to release the warg.
Yeah.
The warg then kills 2 humans before
And
Arondir
burn is
grabs
not
his-
an understatement. The orcs, their skin is literally like burning,
boiling,
like
sizzling.
like fire is in contact with their skin.
Yeah.
But
But
and this warg that shows up is the derpiest warg I have ever seen.
yeah.
Like, this is a derpy, like, I guess an ancestor to wargs or something, but it is derpy.
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
I remember my brother when we first watched this. He could not get over just how... I don't know what word to use other than derpy.
Yeah.
Just how
it's
derpy
very
this thing
accurate.
looks.
It's got like bug eyes and it's just all
It's got like
sorts
these
of-
really
yeah.
big like bug eyes, and I think it's just the eyes that make it look so derpy. But the eyes are just
I would
doing
agree.
like all the work here.
Yeah.
And we do have a little general trivia here. It's just a single sentence. It says wargs are akin to wolves and are closely aligned with orcs and the darkness they serve.
So
But yeah, that warg mauls a dude like just yeah.
kills another
Like,
one.
Derpy or not, this thing is dangerous because like you can see its
yeah.
fangs and like its teeth and whatnot. Like
Yep.
you get bit by that sucker. Good
Good luck.
luck. Yeah, like because like the teeth are obviously they're serrated, but like good luck getting that thing to break its grip.
But Arondir ends up grabbing its chain and trapping it in tree roots. The other orcs charge and attack, and they kind of fight off some. Some more orcs die.
Yeah.
Arondir and his captain are like the two that are primary there. They get up above, and Arondir's like climbing. His captain takes off running for the trees, and then just kind of slows down and stops. And he turns, and there's an arrow sticking out of him.
Yeah.
And then another one comes and gets him, and then he falls down.
Well, and with this too, I thought it was a little strange because we've seen what's up above the trench, right?
Yeah.
And it's desolate. The trees have been chopped down or broken down. There's no cover for orcs from the sun here,
Yeah.
And so it's just like the nearest tree line is a good ways away from the trench.
Mm-hmm.
Are orcs really that good at shooting? Like, are they that accurate? is kind of the question I have.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
don't know.
like that arrow it's like center mass. It's like dead center in the chest. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a winging shot that just like caught a shoulder or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, so they almost make it out. Arondir is then pulled back down. And right as they're about to kill him, somebody else, another orc, shouts, "Bring him to Adar," or Adar, whatever we call them. I don't remember. And we see this guy coming out, just walking. We see and
yeah,
he almost looks like he's wearing the type of armor that like
Right.
Morgoth and we see Sauron wear.
right.
It's that kind of dark, just jagged looking.
And even too, as he's walking out, all the orcs are chanting Adar as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which just like it gives that feel of like Sauron, or like in
Yeah.
Return of the King where they're chanting Grond as the giant, as the giant
Right.
battering ram is being brought up.
Yeah. But that's where the episode ends.
Yep, we do get a brief can't really make out any detail of this figure because it's blurry.
No.
But we do get a brief shot of his face. But again, you can't make out enough detail to really see who it is or get any real detail on his
Right.
face.
But that's where we end our episode. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else
And-
to say.
There is actually a trivia page here on Amazon Prime. There's a lot of those trivia points for this episode. I didn't
there are.
realize how many there really were. But I like those. I like having the trivia, the little trivia things. In some instances, some of them is just like, duh, obviously, or it doesn't really fit with the scene that much.
Yeah.
But I like that they included that. It kind of answered a couple of our questions, that we were kind of asking mid-episode.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like that. But that's the end of this episode. Next Monday, we are going to be covering episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of the Clone Wars. Not 1 and 2, 11 and 12. Sorry.
You're close.
Yeah, it's like abbreviated in my tab, and so I was like, yeah, whatever.
Close only counts in Horseshoes and Handmaids.
Well, anyway,
And sometimes RPGs.
Probably that too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode, listening and learning a little bit about it, as we learned some too, thanks to Amazon's stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, next Monday, Star Wars. So see you then. Otherwise, in 2 Mondays, we will be covering episode 4.
Where I will say we are going to get more. We're going to get some stuff on Adar there for anybody that's wondering who that is, what he is, what his deal is. We will be getting more information on him in that episode.
Right.
So
yeah,
look forward to that. But
check out the Patreon. Keep the downloads coming. Follow us on Spotify if you want to hear a full sea shanty.
Yep. Yep. You said get the Spotify to 500, right, for the full sea shanty. Just as a reminder, everybody listening.
Yeah. So follow us there. We see the numbers. I don't think you'd be able to see them, but hey, it helps. So anyway, bye.
Deuces.